welcome everyone to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here also is the return of the magnificent Son X.
X time, baby. Let's get it.
You know, I find it interesting. You know, whenever we did this show, X is usually like in the dark, like he's in like some old subway, abandoned subway system. But there's actually light, if you can notice. I think it's better since he doesn't have that hideous blue, green, whatever that stupid lighting that he usually uses. Much better like this.
Jealousy from Grump yet again.
I will mention here, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is an all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday. I'd actually say probably it's going to be starting earlier than 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Sunday. So if you're new to the channel and you like the content, there's a few things that we ask you to do. We ask you to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes, and also to like the video. If you like the video, it lets myself, Grumpy, and SunX know that you like the content that we're putting out. And also, right, it helps the algorithm. It helps get this podcast out to the masses. One more piece of general housekeeping that I want to make sure I cover. On Facebook, the way that the new rules go for streaming on anything to Facebook, your page has to have over 100 likes to it. So right now, because we never really push to Facebook very much, we are unable to stream on Facebook. So make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube or you follow on Twitter, because those would be the two best methods to watch the show and the weekly podcast. And again, this is an all sports podcast. We talk anything and everything sports on this show. So, you know, those are items like Euros. We're going to be talking Copa America upcoming. We're going to be talking about the finals, the NBA Finals and the NHL Finals. We're going to be talking about a few MLB news points there. We're going to be talking Tom Brady. We're going to be talking about a little bit of anything and everything. And hey, some WNBA is going to trickle its way back into the show. Oh, come on, Gumpy. But we're going to be talking a little WNBA as well. But I tell you, you know, nothing better to start off with. There's been a lot of heat and I guess a lot of news around the WNBA, Grump and X. You know, Caitlin Clark has been, you know, I'd say drawing a whole bunch of eyes, or at least the abuse she's been taking has been drawing a whole bunch of eyes, and just kind of, you know, people I guess are shocked that some of the players can be so quote unquote, as Charles Barkley would call it, petty, and you know, childish on that side, stupid too, whatever you want to call it. I think last show, I'm not sure if we had a chance to mention this, Caitlin Clark did not make Team USA. I don't think actually we had a chance to go ahead and discuss that, but Caitlin Clark did not make the United States Olympic team. Whatever. You know, here's the thing. If you're trying to grow the sport, I think it was a no-brainer to include her. I don't care how, I don't know what type of impact she was going to make or could make. She's played well as a rookie here in the WNBA. I mean, she hasn't played poorly. It's not like you say, oh gosh, you know, all the hype was overblown for her. But it's going to get, if she was playing in the Olympics, right? Or the Olympics, it would get additional eyes on the set, would it not?
Yes.
It's the only reason anyone watches women's sports that don't involve them wearing like bikinis or stuff like that.
Jesus. Oh, gosh.
Great podcast, everybody.
Now, the thing that I've been enjoying a lot of, Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese, I guess,
Angela. Isn't her name Angela?
No,
it's Angel Reese.
No,
We'll just call her skank number one.
Angel Reese.
They put her, she did a press conference once and they tried to feminize her. So they put her in heels and she looked like a guy who works on buildings. And
I thought you were going to say works on an oil rig.
Like putting Bambi in stilts.
Anyway, so Angel Reese,
a hideous human being.
This is a rivalry and hatred that has been a few years boiling.
And it's all from skank number one side too.
Angel Reese, yes. At the time period of, now this is 2 years ago, in the road to the national championship, you know, Angel Reese played for LSU. They won 2 years ago and they beat Iowa. They knocked Iowa off, and she was doing this, like, yeah, I'm getting the ring and you're not, in the face of Caitlin Clark. And that was kind of where I guess the rivalry and the hatred kind of started on that side. Now, don't worry, it's carried itself over into the WNBA. I'll tell you that much. And
Caitlin Clark doesn't even seem to care about her, though.
Well, here's the thing. That's how you can tell the individuals that are going to be successful and the players that are going to be, you know, I wouldn't call them trailblazers, are going to be the better players in the league. When it's like with Tom Brady, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm going to concern myself with the thoughts of this player or that player talking shit.
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't do anything like that, because again, it's just like, I'm just going to let my play do the talking. And that's kind of what we've seen here. And what I expect us to continue to see too. But there was there's been some flagrant fouls. She's been getting flagrantly.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
And now this one, right? They happen to play Angel Reese here in her team. I don't know any of the team. The Iowa, whatever, the Iowa Fever or the Iowa, whatever, Corn. I don't remember.
Caitlin Clarks.
And here we go.
The Caitlin Clarks, the Indiana. I'm sorry, she plays for the Indiana something. The Caitlin Clarks.
The Indiana Clarks.
Yeah, the Indiana Clarks. I'll let you watch it. This is just what happened last night, I believe.
And here we go again. Caitlin Clark. Look at this. Not a play on the ball by Angel Reese. Hey, Shaq, you know, I'd lay off her. She's just so goddamn dirty. Like, not going for the ball at all. What is this?
Okay. Pause it for a second.
Shot.
Go ahead.
I don't
think it's a cheap shot. I'll say it.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. I don't think she was taking a cheap shot. I just think she lacks any discernible talent to make any plays.
I think
she's a normal women's basketball player, which makes them irrelevant.
Well, I'll just say, just in case you guys were wondering this. So you know the guy who played for the Toronto Raptors who was caught like throwing games to get out of gambling debt? He was caught missing shots on purpose.
Yes.
I think breaking shots. He had a better field goal percentage than Angel Reese did. Just put that in perspective. That's all I'm going to say.
She's not the only reason that people watch the WNBA. For people like me, what
the hell was that there, Grumpy? I couldn't.
Grumpy had a mini stroke.
He had a Bidenism. God Almighty, Grumpy. Say that one more time. All right.
Where the fuck they heard the?
She came out and said that people in the WNBA, they just don't watch it for Caitlin Clark. They watch it for her too.
Yes,
She's been in the league for a year. Okay, this is her second year.
No, that's wrong. Angel Reese was in this year's draft as well. They're both rookies. So before you say something wrong, they're both rookies.
Grumpy literally sounded like that guy from The Waterboy. Man, that one time, Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Yeah.
Anyway, so the player you're talking about is Jonte Porter for the Toronto Raptors. Yes, and he was he was in the gambling plot on multiple games, I believe is what it was. Yep. But yes, he has a career field goal percentage higher than Angel Reese on that side.
And he was intentionally missing shots. Think about
think about that. In order to hit the under on his shooting percentage.
Yes, intentionally breaking shots.
Okay. I think TJ's paused. What do you think, X?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
That's fine. We'll let him freeze. That means we can go kind of crazy.
Let's go get into some comments.
Let's get some comments.
She hates her so much that it's not out of the ordinary, I think is what it is.
He's back.
Well, hold on. What's going on, X? What the hell are you doing?
Unfun.
No fun. Go worry. The tyrant is back.
What the hell are you doing, X?
We want to do something fun.
You know this is TJ Law. I'm the only one who gets to make decisions around here.
Well, this is what Angel Reese had to say after the game. I'll let you listen to it.
For inside, I think we were playing really hard.
You suck.
I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle, but
crybaby bitch.
Some people have a special whistle, and she's like she's clocking people in the head. I'm like, come on, man. Now this is the funny. Now we've seen a lot of.
There's some ugly women in that WNBA.
That's Darren Waller's wife.
Wait, what?
The one in the middle there, I'm pretty sure is Darren Waller's wife.
No, he got a
ex-wife.
divorce, my guy. No.
Then that was his ex-wife.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're fucking with me right now.
I'm not. I'm pretty sure it is.
No.
Look up Darren Waller's ex-wife.
Yes, you're right. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Bang, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, sir.
They got a divorce on April 23rd of 2024, and that's when he released that absolute banger of a song. Who knew about his former ex-wife or his former wife? Look at that. Oh, God.
Well, all I want to say on that is obviously his eyesight is still pretty good if he got rid of her.
Everybody's saying for him to go back to training camp.
He's retired already.
That's my point. They said stop making music and go back to training camp.
Oh, God.
The welfare NBA expected to lose $50 million despite popularity. The league is hard.
Hold on. Did you call it the welfare NBA? It's a WNBA, not the
yes,
welfare.
W for welfare, because they need the NBA to live.
Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is the only reason I'm bringing it up is there are people now who are talking about, oh, the WNBA is going to be profitable in no time, and they shouldn't have to share, the revenue and the profit they have with the NBA. They should split their association with the NBA.
I think they should too.
You're already having people mention it now. Oh, they should split with the association of the NBA with the next CBA. They should split. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, right here, despite the increase in popularity, they still lost $50 million. They should not split with the NBA. If they want to continue to stay, they need to continue to have the NBA support them.
I 100% agree. They should split with the NBA, and they'd be out of business in 6 months, and I'd never have to hear about them again.
Oh, Grumpy, come on. You'd love it. You'd love
the welfare NBA expected to lose $50 million despite popularity. League is hard pressed to exist without the NBA, an executive says. It's the truth. They would be out of business. There is no, and I mean no interest at all in the welfare NBA. Just none.
Anyway,
even with Caitlin Clark. And she's been drawing crowds, but you go, the peanut vendors can yell to one another across the stands at all the other games. Hey, John, you got an extra peanut? Yeah, I didn't sell any. Well, neither did I. I mean, that's the way it is.
So
wasn't the WNBA the one where somebody was sleeping courtside?
No, yeah. It was it Gideon who did that?
Gideon, yeah.
He did it now he was banned from all WNBA functions after that.
No. The funny thing was they banned him from the NBA as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were saying that's the thing that's funny is your league is such a joke that banning him from the games during that league wasn't enough that you had to ban him from games in the NBA. I mean, that's the joke that they made.
I mean, when you need every single fan you can get, why would you threaten anyone? Nope, nothing.
His video got more viewership, I think, than the WNBA actually.
I guarantee it. I would like to do that. Just let.
I think Grump would do
People
that.
Would look at you and they'd just be like, "Oh, look at this old man. I hope he has a ride home."
Look, the janitor forgot to go back to the office in the bowels of the building.
They would say, "Is Old Timer's Sacred Heart bus coming to pick this old timer up yet?"
Old Timer's Sacred Heart bus. Oh goodness.
There was a comment that just came up that I'd like to read.
Why don't we get
current
current with comments and we'll continue along there. Freedom Fund Adventure Group.
Wasn't there a WNBA comment?
Yes, there are. Just
Grumpy. Let's get to read. Grumpy.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, Grumpy, one of TJ's favorite sayings is banana in the tailpipe. Well, I had to teach him. TJ, do you know what movie that's from?
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cops.
It's Beverly Hills Cop. Not Beverly Hill Cops.
Holy shit.
Okay,
get on with it, huh?
Okay,
Biden, why don't you go ahead and slur a whole bunch of words together that nobody can understand again?
Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Cop? Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Cop?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, ask me a question and say no, I haven't.
Who's the lead? Who's the lead actor in the movie?
Hey, Grumpy, why don't you just go ahead and continue on there, buddy?
Who's the lead actor in the movie?
Chris Farley.
No,
Eddie Murphy.
It's Eddie Murphy.
Dude,
we've not seen the movie.
I never saw it.
Chris Farley's the one with Jackie Chan. Which one was that movie?
No.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, same God. That's right. I got mixed up for him, huh?
He doesn't know.
Close enough.
He's never seen it. Now, I do want to
say Hills Ninja. That's Beverly Hill Ninjas for you, X.
TJ did come over to our house, and I made him watch Silence of the Lambs, and he liked it.
Oh, yeah.
So he identified with one of the characters. I'm not going to say who. Freedom Fund Venture adds, Grumpy, one of TJ's favorite sayings is banana in the tailbite from a movie that he'd never seen. When he said your gifts weren't coming until Monday, made me think there are no gifts, but he didn't want to look bad on the show. No. I will say TJ absolutely sent gifts, and they came today.
I'm ready to return them. Send them back, X. Send them back, Grumpy. They're going to return them back through the mail. Send them back. Anyway.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Next comment. TJ, late again. TJ, no, we're not late. We're early. What you talking about? JP, Grump.
Does the American Cup and Euro tournament, maybe he's talking about Copa America.
So about Copa America and Euros, yeah.
Because America's Cup is a boating race, and I don't think JP's into that. And that usually,
I know I'm not into the boating races. So.
What a shock! And that usually happens like in September, I believe. Copa America and the Euro tournament all weed out which players making the World Cup. Copa Mundial, I don't know what the hell it is, or is it a totally separate thing? It is a totally separate thing.
Yeah, so imagine it's just like, hey, which teams are the best teams in the Americas, North and South America, and that's Copa America. And Euros is saying which team is the best European team. Now,
I will draw a comparison of those two tournaments. The Euros is like the NBA, and Copa America is like the welfare NBA.
Okay. JP Grump.
I'm just curious. I still can't get past the offside rule in soccer. I'll say, JP, that international tournaments, and as much as I'm absolutely going to be watching them, it's not the same as club soccer or club football, which is
offsides means you just can't have a guy further on. You got to stay in line with the last defender. You can't just have a guy pretty much cherry picking.
You can't have any part.
Imagine like the blue line for the NHL, where you have to have the puck to get over the blue line. Instead, you just can't go ahead and have some guy sitting all the way behind all the defenders. You just kick the ball all the way down the field,
okay,
down the pitch, and you've got a wide open opportunity.
Offsides is you can't have any part of your body that you could use to score a goal at even a quarter of an inch past where the last defender is. You can have your hands past it, but like not your head, not your feet, not
your shoulder, your stuff
shoulder.
Like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Next, we got to hear another comment. JP Grump.
Half back passes to center back to the wing back to center. Center holds it.
X.
It's like playing chess. Honestly, it's like a chess match.
Yes,
it's
like hockey. Imagine it's like hockey, but on a much bigger or a much bigger like playing surface with the pitch. So you have to be much more. You have to be much more precise with what you're going to do and thought out ahead of time. With the NHL, it's like, okay, gotcha. It's fast, but it's also you've got to plan things out ahead of time. But it's much more fast paced because it's shorter. I mean, you're in a much more concise area.
JP adds, the Continental Soccer Association is coming to TJ, X, and the Grumpy Old Man. It's all here. Fast kicking, low scoring, and ties. You bet. Simpsons.
Oh, man. Yeah, Freedom Fund Adventure.
Must be payday because prodigal son X, Griswold, has returned from his fancy European vacation. Perhaps he claims showing up counts
as a Grumpy's
Father's Day gift. Hashtag cheap bastards.
Did you get anything for Grumpy X overseas?
Yes, I did get him something for overseas. And I told him, I said, hopefully there's a lot of Blu-rays in your future.
The warden saw a couple of Blu-rays come in the house, and she saw a box, and she didn't say anything because we all know she's very critical anytime that the Grumpy Old Man spends any, and I mean any money. So she saw, I said, here's a box. And she's like,
you know what I can't wait for her to start doing? Packaging up some of the Blu-rays that you already have and re-giving to them to you as gifts.
The ones that he hasn't even fucking opened up yet.
Yes.
That are still in the plastic side.
They are all.
They still have the plastic wrap on them.
They're all.
Oh, they still have the plastic wrap.
Some of them definitely still have the plastic wrap on them.
They do not.
Yes, they do.
And so I said, oh, hello, honey. Did you get something from Amazon? She's like, no. I said, well, I didn't. She says, really? Wow. I'm like, yes, it's from TJ. Like, she was like, wow.
Was that what she was like?
She was like, wow.
God. All righty, Grumpy. Let's continue on here. Gungun says Son X is back. Will he pick up the slack.
No.
Carried the team right here on my back.
Now, Tony Fitz a Little Cheese said, I heard Grump was on the beach with Donnie Trump. Now, I heard this rumor as well.
Ooh.
I got to confirm, Grumpy. Is this officially you with Donnie J many, many years ago, Grumpy? I just need you to confirm it. Grump, I'll be honest with you. Donald's got a little bit of a better physique than you do, Grumpy.
Yeah, Don's pushing, dude.
I think honestly, whoever put that out, that is not Donald Trump's body. I'm going to tell you right now.
Dude, man. Oh my God.
That's the former and future president of the United States you're talking about.
He's actually too close to water, so that could not be Grump.
That is true. He wouldn't get that close to the beach in the sand. Oh, you kidding me? Anyway, goon Grump.
Have the Mets finally crawled out of the toilet? I don't think they were ever in the toilet. They were like licking the bottom of the toilet, but not in it. Are the playoff standings already set?
Yeah. The Mets have no chance. None at all.
I doubt they're going to make playoffs.
Do you remember earlier this year you said that you thought the Mets were going to be better than the Yankees?
Not what?
Yeah.
You nuts?
Before the season, you definitely did.
Oh, bullshit. Hold on, X. First off, the Mets are in a rebuild. And they're going to be in a rebuild for years.
You said they were going to be better than the Yankees.
X, do you remember when TJ said Patrick Kane was better than Anders Lee?
This is his typical grumpnesia coming in. He forgets things the older he gets. Grumpnesia is what I like to call it.
You want to know something else? Do you remember when TJ said that Juan Soto isn't the reason why the Yankees are winning games, that it's all Aaron Judge?
It is Aaron Judge. And guess who's got more home runs, more doubles now, almost identical batting average, higher on-base percentage, higher slugging percentage. It's Aaron Judge.
Guess which team was losing games and on a losing streak when Juan Soto wasn't in the lineup? Oh, yeah, that's right, the Yankees.
Juan Soto blows. He sucks.
Oh, he only wins games for them, so I guess he sucks.
Juan Soto sucks.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you win games. Winning games, according to TJ, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
For personal accolades,
dude, perfect.
And winning games does not matter. That is correct.
Then you must think the Islanders are doing a swell job.
No, here's the thing. If I'm talking about how is Matt Barzal doing, well, the team winning games doesn't impact what I think about Matt Barzal's play. Just like if you're asking me how Aaron Judge is doing, the Yankees winning games doesn't affect what my thought process is on his individual's play. If you're asking me how are the Yankees playing, well, yes, I'm going to care about the wins. How are the Islanders playing? I'm not a Matt Barzal only fan. I root for the Islanders. Therefore, I care if they win games and lose.
So you're
games.
an Aaron Judge only fan?
I don't.
You subscribe to Aaron Judge's only fans?
I think he's a future Hall of Famer. So yeah, I think he's great.
He subscribed.
Subscribed is right.
To Aaron Judge's OnlyFans.
Yeah, there it is. Grumpy, I tell you, we played a song from Al yesterday, Grumpy, or X, and I tell you, it was Grumpy before the show asked me, he's like, is that some type of new band?
What was it?
It was an AI song. It was an AI rendition of geriatric Lou Lamorello. It was actually really good. It was like a summer bop. I was like, I can get behind this song. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Is that a new band?
Is that who sings this song? AI. Are they a new band?
A computer.
They're the computer. I will go ahead and mention this. Aaron Judge has another homer today. Another home run today. Look at that. I'm telling you, spectacular season already for Aaron Judge. Simple as that. Better than Juan Soto.
I don't think people agree with you there.
I think you're wrong. You go, X.
So last night, TJ and Grumpy shouted/debated about who is better, Orr or McDavid. Which player makes you open your eyelid? ? I would say Bobby Orr is better than Connor McDavid. Bobby Orr is a better all-around player.
Thank you, X.
Wrong.
I'm not wrong. You think Connor McDavid can fight? Hell no. Get his ass kicked.
Okay.
We saw what happened when they played against Vancouver. He got absolutely shit mixed. Speared in the backhand, speared in the face.
Save your son over there, Grumpy. Bobby Orr was not a fighter, X.
He fought, though.
What's a Bobby Orr hat trick?
No, that's a Gordie Howe hat.
It's a Gordie Howe. I knew he was sucking him up, too.
Same exact thing, baby. Same exact thing.
Yeah, okay. Bobby Orr was not known for fighting.
Bobby Orr was out there.
But Bobby Orr
blows,
fought.
Baby.
He absolutely fought.
Oh, God.
You had to be able to fight back then.
Has Connor McDavid ever made the shot? No.
Nope. Never did.
McDavid's spectacular. Most skilled player that's ever lived.
Wrong. Wrong.
Right.
Wrong.
Right. All right, there. Just because you hung out with Donald Trump once on the tree doesn't mean you're Donald Trump. All right, Grumpy. Just because you're hanging out with him on the beach. JP Grump.
JP says, sad thing is a lot of Caitlin Clark's games have higher ratings than a lot of NHL playoff games. Well, because
really?
Okay, but here's the thing. They are pushing Caitlin Clark. Absolutely. ABC and ESPN are pushing her. Why? Because they own the rights to those games. They don't care about the NHL. They are absolutely pushing Caitlin Clark.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that one summer when Blake Griffin was throwing down slam dunks, and it's every single day, oh, look at this new slam dunk by Blake Griffin. Oh, and they couldn't stop talking and just, pleasuring themselves to a slam dunk by Blake Griffin. It was every single day for about 2 years, and then it just ran its course, and you never heard from him again.
X, put lights on, open up the what are you doing? You're back into the tunnel.
All right, hold on.
Jesus,
look at that. He's an embarrassment. Now he's going to put on those disco lights or whatever the hell he's got there.
Typical Son X. That's just typical X. And oh man, Goon Grump.
Who has seen more of the world, Gump or Grump?
Who's Gump? Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump absolutely has seen more of the world than Grumpy.
Yeah, he's been to Vietnam and all the other places he went.
Grumpy, how many states have you been through? And here's the thing. I'm not counting you driving through a state to get to your destination as visiting a state. How many states have you actually visited? Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe Tennessee and New York? 5. Texas 6. One other state, 7. We'll keep that one secret.
Connecticut.
State, 7. Connecticut, 8.
Pennsylvania. Virginia.
Oh,
Maryland.
yeah, you went to Baltimore Orioles game. So 11 states.
I've been to a lot of states. I've been to a lot of states.
I've seen more than Grump.
Minnesota,
that's right. 12. Been all over the place, Grumpy.
Yeah.
I've seen more than Grump.
James Farrell, Grump.
I'm so glad you mentioned the welfare NBA. What the hell with these players?
It's the WNBA, Grumpy. Stop calling it the welfare NBA. Come on.
Okay. What the hell with these players playing in makeup with false eyelashes? Is this basketball or at a nightclub? It's neither. Because if you ever seen that girl, Angela Reese, walk in heels, it's
Angela Reese, Grumpy.
What did I call her?
You called her Angela. It's Angel.
Whatever. Angel Dust Reese. Whatever.
Dust.
If you ever, Angel Dust, that was a drug back in
the
day. If you ever seen her walk in high heels, it's like, yikes. You know, she ain't never won those before.
Who cares?
You should.
James, I don't care how they look in high heels, Grumpy.
James Farrell says, why is ESPN baseball using the Mets TV theme song between innings? Because it's the only time you're ever going to hear the Mets theme song ever.
Damn.
Freedom Fund Event says, so these greedy ass alleged women have been gleefully taking money from the NBA. What's
that?
What's THRN?
I don't know. Hateful too. And if they ever make profit, they don't want to share the profits with the NBA. Sounds fair and honorable. Well, and now again, there's been nobody. It's not specific members of the WNBA saying this, or owners in the WNBA. It's fans and people who are saying, "Oh, gotcha." The WNBA is going to turn profitable, and they need to separate so they don't have to share their profit and revenue with the NBA. And it wasn't the players, but I have no idea what's going to happen with that. They should stay connected with the NBA as long as humanly possible, in my opinion.
Forever. It's like the welfare state. JP says Axel F became a legend because of Beverly Hills Cop. Do you know who Axel F is, TJ?
No.
Okay. He was a guy who wrote the song Axel's theme. It goes do 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 do.
That was actually a Crazy Frog.
Crazy Frog. Yeah.
That was Crazy Frog who did that. Not Axel X. Not Axel F.
God, what a loser.
Crazy Frog.
Freedom Fund Adventure says Grumpy doesn't enjoy the beach. There's a defensive tackle from Cincinnati eligible for the next NFL draft. His name is Dante Corleone. How bad do you want your team to draft him? Coolest name in football. Is he any good? Because that's all that really matters.
Well, I'm sure you saw that.
They're probably going to make an offer he can't refuse, Grump.
Very good, X. There you go.
I'm sure you guys saw there was who was it again who got in trouble? The same exact Chiefs D tackle who got in trouble for animal abuse just got arrested, I believe it was, for domestic abuse now. Isaiah Buggs. I would assume he probably is not. Second time this offseason he's been arrested.
Buggs,
this offseason.
Ruggs. I mean, all the guys with Uggs in their last name. Watch out.
Terrell Suggs. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he didn't go to jail.
I know. But yeah, Isaiah Buggs, he just got arrested again. I don't know, right?
Again,
what do you think the likelihood? What do you think the likelihood is that he is no longer with the team this year?
If he's any
0%.
good, if he's any good, he will make the team.
Yep.
If not, he won't.
Yep, he was arrested and booked earlier today on charges of second-degree domestic violence with burglary designation.
Burglary. It's burglary.
Burglary. It's not a fun word to say.
Burglary.
This is the second time this offseason, or the offseason incident for Buggs, who's also facing 2 misdemeanor warrants for second-degree cruelty to dogs. Yeah, not a good offseason for him. Call me crazy. After you've been arrested, it would be like, okay, gotcha. If I'm getting angry or I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can control myself. I've just been arrested, within the last month. I probably should try to keep my anger, a little bit controlled. I might have to see a therapist at this point when you've been arrested.
Actually, I think you should just let it out more and start breaking stuff.
James Farrell says, TJ, you're out of your mind if you think McDavid is better than Bob Orr. Well, here's the thing.
Get out of your mind.
TJ's never seen any of the greats play. So as far as he's concerned, anyone before Connor McDavid doesn't really exist.
He has seen one great play. One great. Or actually, I'll say two. Two greats.
What? Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? You want to talk about greats. This is something I want to show you. Maybe you'll get a kick out of this here too. By the by, where is it? Look at this. Connor McDavid has broken the record for most assists in a single postseason. He's passed Wayne Gretzky for the most assists in the history of the sport in a single postseason run. And the crazy thing is, the series isn't even over.
So he's not good enough to score, is what you're telling me.
That's exactly right. He's Josh Bailey Jr.
No, that's not correct.
Exactly right.
Did he break the record for the most goals in a postseason?
No.
Most points is what you're talking about.
He hasn't done that either.
The year that Gretzky had the 30 whatever, he had like 40 something points. He only had like 12 or 13 goals. And McDavid has 6 or 7. McDavid, again, depending on how long.
Okay, so McDavid has like half the goals that Gretzky had. Okay.
Correct.
Good.
And more assists.
And half the goals. Okay, good to know.
Here's the thing. I just don't think he's a big-time clutch player. They're not beating Florida. They're going to lose the next time they play in Florida. That'll be the end. And then we won't have to listen. We won't have
to listen. He's a puck-passing pansy.
We won't have
too much of a little wussy to take shots, and he's got to pass the buck off.
And we won't have to listen to TJ for another few months.
Hey, what was the score of the game last night between Edmonton and Florida? Do you remember who said Edmonton was going to smoke them? What's the score of the series?
What's the score of the series? I forgot.
Here comes a reverse sweep.
What's the score of the series? You're right, because it's only happened like twice in the history of the Stanley Cup.
Once. It never happened in the finals.
Once in the finals.
Oh, how far back? Going back 1950?
I think it was happening
1940. 1940.
Guess what? The record breaker himself, the GOAT, the guy who cannot be stopped, Connor McDavid, is going to will the Edmonton Oilers to a Stanley Cup.
It's funny. You know what he starts? He's like Brock Nelson, Anders Lee. It was 4-1 before he put the puck in the net. I mean, come on. He only scores when the game's out of hand.
Yeah,
he's a stats stuffer. He's
J.R. Smith.
In the stats.
Wrong. Loser. Here's the thing, Grump. You got so pissy last night during our show when he was killing it. You were getting so upset, Grumpy. You were getting so upset. Can we just get done? We're done with that topic.
I get upset with you.
Right there in the mouth.
I get upset with you because you're so stupid, it's scary. Honestly, you're so dumb that it's scary.
You know what, TJ? I think since you believe that Edmonton's going to win the series, I think you should put some money down on it.
There you go, hot shot.
Money down.
No, you should. Come on, you believe in it so much. Definitely should, dude.
And you know what I'm willing to say? I'm willing to go ahead and say it on the public airwaves that I believe in them that much. That's
a fool and his money are soon parted. You should go ahead and put some money down on him to win.
I don't have any need to. I don't gamble. I don't gamble. I think gambling is a degenerate thing. I don't do it.
Fair enough.
I don't do it. So
you should just give me money and just give it to me.
Just give it to X.
Yeah, that sounds like something I want.
Just give me money when you fail. So that way you'll remember next time, hey, if I don't want to lose that money, I'll be smart. You
know what's going to happen? McDavid is going to continue. He's going to break the record for the most points in the history of a single postseason. He's going to break Gretzky's record as well on that.
Yeah, because he's a puck passing pansy. He's too afraid to put in the net.
Oh, good one, X.
Yeah.
All right,
puck
next comment.
Pansy. Triple P.
Next. Derek Monroe, this is Alex's little brother, says, who's winning the Euros? The Copa America. Should be an exciting summer for soccer fans. My picks are England and Brazil. It will not be England, Derek. I'm sorry. No shot for England. I think France is probably the best team.
I got to go with my heart and my mind. So I'm going to give you two teams that I think are going to win Euros. I think it's going to either be Portugal or France. And then Copa America, I think it's going to be Brazil or Uruguay.
It's not going to be Uruguay.
I don't know. All it takes is Darwin Nunez to start heating up.
I'm going to tell you what, it won't be the United States.
No, it won't.
Darwin Nunez. Isn't that right, X?
He came from Benfica to the Big Reds. Let's hear it for Darwin Nunez.
I'm going to go ahead and for Euros.
Well, Darweezy.
For Euros, I'm giving it to Portugal. Portugal is taking home the Euros. That's simple as that. As long as that freaking ball hogging sack of shit Bruno Fernandes stays out of the way, it's a lock for Portugal. It's an absolute lock. Well, Cristiano's going to put on a clinic, as he always does. He is going to show the reason why not being in the top 5 league and why the Saudi league is miles better than that miserable little soccer league called the MLS. Miserable little soccer.
Major League Soccer.
That too.
Also, I don't know if you saw, but the last international friendly when Portugal played Ireland, they had Cristiano out there with some girl in a wheelchair, and he was so nice to her, and everyone said it was a really touching moment. If you've seen the video, it's not funny, as some people on this podcast would probably think it was funny, but it's not. It absolutely is not. And he was like holding her hand and singing the national anthem, the Portugal national anthem. And it reminded me of something that X did a long time ago, but I'm not going to comment on it here.
Grumpy, have you lost the ability to communicate? What's going on, Grumpy? You're like speaking in circles tonight.
He's speaking in riddles.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's speaking in circles and speaking in riddles. But I guess.
Why is your hat crooked?
Is that your response to you rattling off sentences that?
How bad does your hair have to look that it is crookeding up your hat? That's what I want.
Yeah. Look at that. You go ahead and come off with a little a little sentence and a little monologue that doesn't make sense, that is doing all of nothing, and your resort is let me make fun of TJ's hair. Okay.
I brought that up for X. I just wanted to see his reaction when I mentioned it. Okay. But it was very touching what he did with that young girl.
Okay, sounds good.
Frank from Empire State says, hi, grumpy old man, TJ and X man. Hi, audience. Happy Father's Day, all. Exactly.
What's up, Frank?
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day, ladies and gents.
Drew says, I found old footage of Babe Ruth that Grumpy would enjoy.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you, it doesn't, just like it was when we were watching Bobby Orr last night, it doesn't paint them in a good light.
Grumpy might have to watch that Babe Ruth video after hours.
Oh God, it doesn't paint them in a good light. It's very simply, hey, there's a reason why it's good not to look back at the past at some of these guys, because you're watching, you're like, holy shit, guys like this wouldn't do a damn thing in the current MLB. Just like Bobby Orr would be like oh yeah, it's Bobby Orr out there in the ice, because it's just the game's so much better. Athletes are better. The game's so much further advanced.
You're not allowed to hit anybody now. Yeah, it's great.
If you watch the clip that we were watching last night, my God, it looked like you and I were skating out there, X. It was like, beer league. It was like Sunday league for soccer. That's what it was compared to.
Goon says, where do you think Aaron Rodgers really is right now? Working in a coal mine, traveling to Disney World, or visiting his proctologist?
You guys saw the rumor that he's on an ayahuasca trip or something like that, right?
Oh my gosh.
I just wonder if he wants to play anymore.
God, this bullshit again. Come on, he wants to play. Stop, Grump. He is rumored to be away at an ayahuasca retreat instead of attending mandatory minicamp. Ayahuasca is like it's a drug used by the Native Americans.
It's a drink. It's a drug that's a drink.
It's a hallucinogenic drug.
Yep.
Oh,
makes you trip balls, Grumpy.
Okay.
Better. He spent some time on a retreat in Costa Rica in March already. Hey man, he's getting in touch. As long as he's still throwing the football, I don't give a shit what he's doing. I mean, just keep throwing that pigskin, buddy. Oh man. Let's continue on there with comments, X.
Drew says Axel F was the song from Crazy Frog. Now X just made me feel old.
Yep.
There it is.
Drew also adds, prediction, the Jets aren't making the playoffs again. Aaron Rodgers is holding that franchise hostage. He's clearly not focused on football and thinks Robert Saleh is a pure beta.
Beta.
That's a strong accusation right there. We haven't even started training camp yet. Still a month away. Month and a half.
I want to put this up because I feel like you'll enjoy it. Who doesn't love it when umps try to make it about themselves? I love it when umps get in arguments and they start arguing with the manager. I'll let you watch it. I want to get your opinions on it.
We're not sure what they're.
Can you pause for a second?
Oh yeah, he's going to be out of this.
What, Grump?
All right. They are really having divergent point of views. The umpire pointed this way. The Phillies manager pointed this way. I mean, I think they're diametrically opposed to whatever they're talking about right now. Yeah. So I don't think this is getting resolved in 44 seconds.
Okay.
Sure what they're. Oh, yeah, he's going to be out of this game. Yeah. Look at Garrett Stubbs. He's going to leave. This is not only because of what's going on here, but it's also because of the strike zone today.
Well, this is where the umpire needs to have a little more discretion. I know Rob's pissed.
This is not.
But he's going to get more upset with Westbrook yelling back at him. And, it's funny, when the manager goes out to argue, the crew chief goes in and breaks it up. Why is he letting this go on?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, have you seen one where the ump has been yelling that vehemently close to the face of a manager before? I haven't seen one of those in a while, but what they mentioned was right. Usually the other umpire comes and tries to break it up and be like, all right, come on, let's get you off the diamond. Come on, man, you're done. But I'm like, they were fucking getting into it. I just hadn't seen one of those in a while. That vicious.
I think he got mad because the Phillies manager said that his wife has been seen on more street corners than the New York Times. That's what I think he said.
There it is.
No, have you seen the video? Apparently, I don't remember what happened. They threw one of the managers out for one team because the pitch zone, like the strike zone, was just awful, terrible. And it was totally one-sided for one team and not the other. And guess what they did? Catcher's like, no problem. Goes out there, talks to the pitcher. Next pitch, fastball up, boom, hits the umpire right in the throat. I missed missing pitches and just let him get hit with the ball. Let him get hit with 100-mile-an-hour fastballs right to the face. Maybe that'll knock some sense. You just start making some better calls.
It's like Badansky in The Longest Yard.
Yep.
That's what happened.
He got hammered.
Wow.
Speaking of being hit with 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, Mookie Betts fractured his left hand today after getting hit by a pitch, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He's going to miss some time. Bad news absolutely for the Dodgers. 100% right.
He's been really, really good this year.
Oh, really good.
And whoever has him on their fantasy team, X, that is a major loss.
That's a major league loss right there.
It sure is. I just wanted to bring it home so X would really be involved in that.
Yeah, man. Oh my!
I don't even think X knows who's on his fantasy team because you run.
I know that I got Mookie Betts on there.
Yeah. Did you happen to see McElroy just completely up today? On that putt right towards the end.
I didn't watch it. I DVR'd it because the Ward watched something else. But I know he had a 2-stroke lead on hole 13, and DeChambeau's really good though. Okay, Oh, this is where he missed.
This is the putt he missed. It is. I'm not sure how protective golf is. Long story short, I'm not going to play it just because in case, like WWE, for example, immediately strikes and takes down the stream. I'm not sure how golf is. I don't even want to take a chance. But it is in the final round on the 17th hole. He is like 3 foot away, and it's the first time he had missed a putt from less than 3 foot this year on the tour, and he missed this little putt here, and it's just like, oof. I don't know. Just it's a big miss there in a big moment like that from a guy you expect to bury that, right?
Did they say that it was the first putt that he had missed a putt from that distance? Well, there you go. It's the announcer's fault.
No, the announcers didn't say it. I'm just saying it came up. That's a fact.
Okay. Well, too bad. I was kind of rooting for him.
Well, you could still root for him, Grumpy. I'm just not sure.
Well, I was rooting for him to win today. I mean, I don't watch golf, but I was rooting for him, because he hadn't won a long time. So,
he won the tournament that was in Charlotte, Grump.
Freedom Fund Venture says, why won't the NHL ban a woman? NFL ban a woman, an animal abuser, and a criminal. The game will survive without anyone. Let the guys find out there are consequences, and some of their behavior will improve. I don't know if their behavior will improve, but there should be consequences to those actions. But what have we learned from for professional sports in general? If you're good enough,
get away with murder.
If you're good enough, you're going to have a lot of stuff swept under the rug for you. They'll cover it up because you make them money. That's what it's all about.
Drew L.
What Grumpy thinks about the WNBA is just Antonio Brown's tweets about it on a daily basis.
God.
Antonio Brown is always going into JP Grumpy.
To be fair to McDavid and Draisaitl, their points per game average career in the NHL players is only underneath 99 and 66. That's pretty damn crazy. That's Gretzky Lemieux, by the way, for the ignorant of members of our particular podcast.
Is that X that you're talking about? Doesn't know who Gretzky and Lemieux is?
TJ.
Now, yes, and I think this is a good one. Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill on Tua said Tua should have been paid. I want you to listen to this. This is great.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not sure I believe that's the real Tua either. It's like those Avril Lavigne internet rumors. Like, it really hurt. I don't like that. Anyway, we don't even go down that rabbit hole. There's a lot. There's way too much there. Anyway, Tua can have some angst. He can have some frustration. Obviously, he wants a deal done. He should be happy. He should be able to take solace right now because he has done his job. He has done everything he needs to do to get paid. He has played a full season. He has led the team to the playoffs. He has proven that he is the franchise quarterback. But I know early on in his career,
so to prove that
this guy is agent?
This is Ian Rappaport, Grump.
Jesus Christ. I know it's Ian Rappaport, but I'm like, come on, dude. You're not his agent.
Let's listen to it one more time. Let's see. This is the criteria that gets you paid as a quarterback in the NFL. Let's listen to
my thing that I enjoy. My thing that I enjoy is they're showing his highlights, and one of the highlights is a freaking handoff to Raheem Mostert, where he's just absolutely taking off. I'm like, how is that a highlight? I don't know.
Let's listen to it one more time. I want to hear that one more time. The criteria that he should get paid as a real quarterback.
He has done his job. He has done everything he needs to do to get paid. He has played a full season. He has led the team.
Can you please wait? We're going to listen to it and then we'll dissect it. Goddamn, Grump.
A full season. He has led the team to the playoffs. He has proven that he is the franchise quarterback. But I know.
So the two items: played a full season, led the team to a playoff.
Got beat in the first round. Killed.
Is that what gets you paid like a franchise caliber quarterback now?
And I don't know how he said he proved himself as a franchise quarterback.
He didn't really make a great case for it, I'll tell you.
He made no case for it. He just threw it in there.
Oh,
what else?
Gracious.
So early on in his career, a lot of people, including some in the organization, doubted that he'd be able to be. He's done it all. And the fact that he's showed up to minicamp and talked to reporters about the awkwardness of not having a contract, that's basically it. There's nothing left to do except sit back, wait, let his agent Ryan Williams do his job, let the Dolphins come to them. And this certainly is something where I'm not saying it's definitely going to get done, but there's certainly some optimism that Tua will be a very happy man at some point before the season.
Oh, my God. I tell you this much. If the Dolphins sign Tua Tagovailoa to a long-term contract, that will be – we talk about franchise-altering mistakes. That would be a franchise-altering mistake by the Dolphins.
I just want to say Now, I'm sure you heard of the Trevor Lawrence contract that just got signed. 5 years, $275 million with $200 million guaranteed.
Way overpaid.
I mean, that's just the way that's just the way quarterback salaries are. If he's worth $275 million with $200 million guaranteed, how much is Tua worth?
More than that.
Like $14 million over 15 years?
No, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid more than
He's
Trevor
not going to get paid. He will not get paid that much money. He will not get paid.
I don't think he deserves that, but I think he will get paid.
Grumpy, can you read this for me?
Tony Fitzy Diddlecheese says, I feel like you guys are trying to summon Alexander like he's Bloody Mary.
Oh, that's funny.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. We're going to say Alexander, talking more about the Dolphins, and he's going to rear his head, Grumpy, and talk.
Oh, I see. Okay. Fuck. Well, I didn't know. JP says the only team to come back from 0-3 down in the finals was the 1942 Maple Leafs.
Like I said, in the 40s.
2 years.
Yep.
It ain't happening.
The Edmonton Oilers are coming back with the reverse sweep. Connor McDavid's going to break every record known to mankind. McDavid is going to be the greatest.
Drew has a comment. You know what my prediction is? Florida wins Game 5, 4-2.
My prediction is Edmonton wins Game 5, 3-1. McDavid has 2 goals and an assist.
Freedom Front Adventure says, Sun X settled the debate. Does TJ just say crazy stuff to piss off and aggravate Grumpy?
Yes, 100% yes.
He's a gaslighting son of a bitch.
Yep.
There's truth behind everything I say, though.
I think he is a journal, and he sits down there, and he's just like, what can I say today to get him infuriated?
Gungun says, did any of you bold bastards see the new Gene Wilder documentary on Netflix? I watched the first 10 minutes. I have not finished watching it. TJ, which film was Mr. Wilder's finest hour?
I don't even know who the hell he is.
Doesn't know who Gene Wilder is. X, do you know who Gene Wilder is?
Off the top of my head, no, but I'm sure if you named a movie, I would know.
Fucking he isn't know either, Grump. Take it deep, Grump. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody knows who Gene Wilder is. Gene Wilder. No. Gene Wilder's the guy in Willy Wonka. He's Willy Wonka. That's who Gene Wilder is, right?
TJ looked it up as
okay, yeah. He was in Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Gene Wilder is in Willy Wonka. That's the best.
I just didn't know that was his name.
There it is. Let's go.
I thought he was really good in Willy Wonka, and I thought he was excellent in Young Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Young Frankenstein also.
I mean, he did a lot of stuff with Richard Pryor. Do you want to know who Richard Pryor is? Let's just move
Black
on.
comedian, yes.
Okay. But I just thought his earlier stuff, he was better.
Do you know the thing in Willy Wonka that he said he would not do the movie unless they let him walk out with the cane?
And did the rolly thing
and did the roll because he wanted to keep everybody on their feet where they didn't know what was true and what was not true with him that he was saying.
Yeah.
And he said he wouldn't do the movie unless they let him do that.
I mean, that's a really good movie. Willy Wonka's a really good movie. I think people would be scared to make a movie like that today.
They made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That was a long time ago.
What, 2000?
I'm talking about today.
Oh.
Yeah, 2006 was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Gugu says, how did a wrinkly old fart like Belichick get a hot young girlfriend? His stunning personality, his fashion style, his bank account.
Yes, so that is the big news, right? That's also all over things. Bill Belichick is dating a 24-year-old ex-cheerleader. By the way, Bill Belichick is 72 years old. This is noted here by the New York Post.
I cannot. I actually thought it was a joke.
It's not a joke.
I mean, he's still pulling, right? I mean, let's give him credit.
It's nothing. I'm not giving him any credit. My God, he's just like, this is just the example of she's trying to get a bag.
Was he making it rain? Is that how he got her? I don't know.
I assume so.
Drew says, first a darkness retreat. Now when ayahuasca retreat. What's next? A Gordon Ramsay food tour retreat? Aaron Rodgers is just making anything up so he doesn't have to play football. That's what I'm wondering. Does he really want to play anymore?
Could be.
The lady he's dating, her name is Jordan Hudson.
Can we see something other than this little headshot of Jordan Hudson?
Okay, we'll continue moving on. Good, Eric.
Can we see a Jordan Hudson picture? What team was she a cheerleader for?
Who knows? Who cares?
No idea, Grump. Who gives a shit? He's dating some younger hot lady. That's what it is. No, there's a million ads.
I thought he was with that Holiday woman for a long time.
Not with her. He's dating a 24-year-old girl now.
Okay. Maybe that's why the team didn't produce. It was all that comedy he was playing with the young girl. Frank from Empire State goes, yeah, TJ, and he was down 3-0, but the league spoke to Florida and ordered them to let the Oilers win. Do not a total
to make it not a total embarrassment. Yeah. Okay. No, here's the thing: Edmonton's walking away with the cup, guaranteed at this point.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Red Solo Cup is all they're walking around with.
Good goon, Grump.
TJ and Son X, what is the angriest you've ever seen Grumpy, and what exactly caused him to blow his top?
Ooh, what's the angriest you've ever seen Grump? TJ.
Grump, it doesn't take a lot to get him angry. As the older he's gotten, the less angry he's gotten. He just would get all a little angry. He's like, Inside Out, the little red guy.
I think probably one of the angriest I ever saw him was Fouts. We used to talk about Fouts, and he was like, "You dumb bastard! You're the stupidest motherfucker to ever open up your fucking mouth."
I don't believe that.
No, that's not the angriest.
You're the stupidest motherfucker to ever breathe. Not to open your mouth, to ever breathe.
I'm trying to think of the angriest that he's ever gotten, man.
It was probably something TJ did, though. I guarantee.
Oh. Do you remember that one time? For Christmas we got those little ray gun keychains, and he was sleeping. And I think Michigan was on TV, and we were just shooting him as many times as we could to see if we could wake him up. And he ended up waking up. He's like, "What the hell are you two dumb bastards doing?"
I thought he was a lot angrier than that, X. Yeah. Grumpy he always likes to take a little snooze and a little.
He's always angry, so it's tough to tell what his angriest moment is.
You don't get to name the grumpy old man without always being angry.
Yeah,
I've never been angry ever.
Still no bullshit for Grumpy. Yeah, I know.
That's X is supposed to do that for me.
Grumpy, don't be so pathetic where you got to pretend like you don't know how to add a profile picture on a social media page.
X couldn't do it for me. Frank from Empire State says, "Go Portugal and go USA." Yes, I'm behind in the pod.
I am not pulling for United States in Copa America.
Me neither.
Go Portugal.
I'm not. Copa America, any team but US.
Drew says, Brazil. By the way, how stupid are the Jaguars paying Trevor Lawrence $55 million a year? I hate the current quarterback market right now. GMs are just paying it. Quarterbacks top dollars for being mediocre. Well,
I agree.
The whole thing is you need a quarterback to win in the NFL.
My thing is you don't need a mediocre quarterback because they're not going to win you anything.
He's not mediocre. He's not good.
The only thing he's shown consistently that he can do is get freaking hurt. That's about it.
What did he play? 3-4 years in the league? I mean,
and he's been hurt for 2 of them.
Okay.
You were speaking about Brazil. I don't know if even Grumpy saw this. Grumpy, did you see what Ronaldinho, Brazilian legend, left wing, center, Cam, he's a Brazilian, forward who's a legend in the sport, a legend for the nationality of Brazil. He came out and said, now this was after Brazil earlier last week drew against Team USA, the first time they've ever drawn against Team USA.
Second time.
I thought they beat USA's beaten them.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. So this is the first time they've ever drawn the United States team out of the 30 times they've played them. And this is a friendly, international friendly. And Ronaldinho had these words to say after the embarrassing draw from Brazil against the United States. He says, "That's it, guys. I don't want to watch any Brazil game at Copa America, nor celebrate any victory. I've had enough. It's a sad moment for those who love Brazilian football. It's hard now to find the spirit to watch the games. It's one of the worst teams in recent years, no respectable leaders, and only average players for the majority. I've never seen a situation as bad as this. The lack of love for the Brazil shirt and the lack of football. Our performance has been one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's such a shame." Now, that was one of the worst games I've seen that Brazilian team ever play.
One thing I will say about this comment, Rafinha came out and said after he had an interview and was like, "Hey, what do you feel about Ronaldinho's quotes that he had here?" He came out and said, "Wow, like that's kind of surprising," because he's like, not even a week ago, he was reaching out to Vinicius to get tickets for him and his family to go watch the games. So he's like, I don't know how true that is.
Here's the thing. They played like absolute dog shit against a bad U.S. team. A U.S. team that just lost 5-1 the game before against, what was it, Colombia?
It's also a preseason game. It was also a friendly game. Right before the tournament.
Friendlies right before the tournament shouldn't be games that you come out there getting steamrolled 5-1.
England lost to Iceland.
They won. What do you mean England lost to Iceland?
Their last game before Euros, they lost to Iceland.
What squad did they roll out there?
Their starting team.
They look bad today. England looked bad today against Serbia.
They won.
They did not look good.
Serbia is a decent squad.
They look terrible. They're not winning.
I'm just saying, you want to complain that the team played poorly. It's the game right before there were a lot of 50-50 chances that the guys from Brazil kind of.
What are you talking about? They had the starters out there, X. What are you fucking talking about? These are all the backups. They started fucking Ramsdale in net. What are you smoking? Look at this. Anthony Gordon, their backup and Cole Palmer. They sat Jude Bellingham. Oh, come on, X, please. They sat Trent Alexander-Arnold. They sat Bukayo Saka.
Trent Alexander-Arnold shouldn't even be starting on the team, if I'm being honest.
They sat Jude Bellingham. They sat a whole bunch of starters. Come on, X.
Okay, Eder Militao didn't even play for Brazil.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Here's the thing. Brazil was running a lot of their starters out there. They shouldn't have lost the fashion that they did. Or they shouldn't have drawn against the U.S. Simple as that.
They carried that entire game.
They dominated the United States.
The entire game, they carried that game. I watched it. They also had a free kick right outside the box that the official took away from Brazil, and they gave the U.S. a free kick. That was the only time they scored was on a free kick goal. They did nothing else the whole game, the United States. Nothing.
That they lined up in that particular goal that Pulisic scored. They were lining up to give up the goal. I think they were in the tank to just, hey, we need to give the United States something here.
Here's the thing. Simple as this. Brazil, it didn't help that Brazil had to have some late-minute magic because they had a 2-2 draw against Mexico, who was just steamrolled 4-0 by Uruguay the game before, too. Brazil has not played well.
They're missing they're missing one of the best center backs in the entire world starting.
They're missing Neymar Church, too. But here's the thing. They're not playing well right now. This is not a good
defense. Their defense is bad because they're missing their best player on defense. You're right. They're giving up goals because they're missing their best player on defense.
Disagree.
Next.
Not playing well. Here you go, Gugun.
Should Lou Lamanillo consider signing Jaromir Jagr? I'm surprised he'll probably wait till September. Drew says, plus, if any of you didn't know, people compared Trevor Lawrence stats with Daniel Jones stats, and they're actually almost exactly identical.
Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Way better. Infinitely better. They're not even.
I won't even entertain that one.
They're not even on the same planet.
Yeah. Tony fits the little cheese.
Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa. Beetlejuice.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. The one we just referenced.
I got it.
Frank Grumpy.
TJ, you're freaking one to say Grump is speaking in circles. That's all you do.
No, I don't.
Lame bastard.
Oh, is that what Frank said at the end, Grumpy?
Yep.
Here you go.
Drew says another franchise altering blunder will be when Dak Prescott get paid 5 years, $300 million.
Yes, that would be.
But what is it? Okay, when guys are getting paid $55 million, $60 million, what's Mahomes going to ask for?
70.
And if you're looking at that number, tell me you wouldn't pay Patrick Mahomes $70 million.
Just with the going rate, I mean, like I think he'd be somewhere around that value.
He's the best quarterback in the game, right?
He is.
I mean, who's even close to him? Burrows, maybe, if he could stay healthy. Joe Burrow, maybe. I mean, Josh Allen, maybe. But I mean, what does it do when you get paid that amount of money? It means your team is going to have a lot less money to put talent around you.
Well, the good thing, at least with the sport of football, is the sport continues and the revenue continues to grow so much that it's absolute. I mean, like the cap just continues to just exponentially increase. Grump.
Do you remember when Mahomes signed that 10-year deal, $450 million, and people going, "Holy crap, $45 million a year for a quarterback"? Now that's like chicken feed, and that wasn't too long ago. Was it 3-4 years ago?
How long before you think he asked to restructure that deal?
I bet he's done it. He's already restructured the deal a couple times.
Frank says here, I can't believe that Rory missed 2 short putts, allowing the loudmouth to win.
That DeChambeau guy. But here's the thing. He's a good golfer. You might not like him, but he's a good golfer. Frank also adds, I watched the podcast from last night. It was basically about TJ trying to push his dumb and wrong narratives, riveting. LOL.
Stephen Porter.
As a former roommate of TJ, it's not just his father that he gaslights. It's all of us. Yeah, TJ, let me tell you something. TJ has the ability to make people hate him. Now, I love him because he's my son, but I hate him because he's so stupid.
That's coming here, Grumpy.
Oh, this
is by Al.
This has to be Al because it's a creative name. It says, couldn't even beat 9-man Al Halal. Al. Why does Grump refer to Madrid as rebuilding this past season when they still had Modric, Cruz, and Carvajal? Just spent $100 million on a transfer and have 2 to 3 teams worth of players that start internationally. Because they've been in a rebuild ever since they let Ronaldo go. They signed Hazard. And okay, not a rebuild, a retool, if you want to call it. They still want to compete, but they've
started a lot of young players.
Think about what they've transitioned away from in the last 5 years. Casemiro. Cruz is a backup. He's a backup now. Modric is a backup.
Modric, yeah. Cruz is retired.
Right? Ramos, gone. Varane, gone. Marcelo, gone. Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo,
That's
gone.
right. Dani Alves is going to be on the way out as well.
That's
Dani Alves.
I'm sorry there. Danny
Carvajal totally redid his diet plan, and he had the best year that he's had in years this year.
Yep.
But he's 31
or 32 years old as a right back. His days are limited. They're not going to be like, let me continue with this. They're going to be looking for a replacement now for him. But they just do things the right way.
And
they'll probably just get Frimpong. Don't worry.
What Real Madrid has done in recent years is they transitioned away from the older squad to the newer guys. They don't do it all at once. They do it, okay, this guy can still play. If he says he wants to go somewhere, we're going to let him go, and we're going to sign young talent and develop it. That's what they're seeing now. Because they're not a team that has a great academy like Barcelona has a great academy. Whoever they have in their academy always seems to play well. That's not the case with Real Madrid. But they really identify young talent, teenagers, and they bring them in, and that's what they've been successful at. Now they're getting Mbappe. This is the first big signing, really big signing since Hazard. Now, that said, Jude Bellingham was a big signing last year, but on a big scale, this is the most money they paid on anybody since Cristiano Ronaldo in 2009.
The thing is, they didn't know if Jude was going to produce at the same caliber that he produced at Dortmund.
Anybody had a set of eyes knew that was going to happen.
Google says, are there any updates concerning the SunX Grumpy Pop Culture Pod? Is Phil's Facts in Cape Cod?
They're never going to get that done.
I want to do it, but SunX, he has trouble committing. He has trouble committing. It could not be a weekly thing. That much I can tell you.
Never going to happen. Next, I'm unfortunately going to go. Never will happen. Frank Grumpy.
I have faith in SunX to pull through.
I don't.
TD's awful.
Frank from Empire State says, I wanted Corey because he didn't portray the PJ like the others that left for the terrorist league. LOL. Plus, he's from the Tiger era. Makes me sad to see Tiger struggle. Tiger Woods is done.
How old's Tiger Woods, though?
In his 40s.
I thought he was in his 50s.
I think he's in 45, 46. I think the first year that he won the Masters, I think it was 98 or 98?
48 years old.
Okay. Yeah, he's done.
He's up there.
He's had the car accident, didn't help.
He broke the foot, or he broke his leg, or whatever that was in the serious training that he does. I was about to say that set him out for a year, and that's.
He's had problems in his personal life. He's done.
Freedom from adventure.
Ian Rappaport and many other reporters will gleefully do the bidding of agents and players, sometimes because that's how they get their information, other than for parties and gifts.
That's a good point, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason why they do it. All righty, Grump. Here you go. Here's Al.
Carolina Panthers asked the city of Charlotte for $650 million for new stadium renovations. They'll get it. They'll absolutely get it.
And if they don't, they'll start halfway through, and then they'll just bankrupt the company, and then you'll have a half-built stadium. So that's what'll happen.
Here's the thing: the NFL brings in too much money for a city that they're not going to get in bed with them. Just that plain and simple. Then he say, you know what? Our lease is up. We're going to move the team.
No problem. Move the team. The team sucks. The team sucks. The team absolutely sucks. Please move the team.
Do you want to know? It's really hard to get reelected if you lose all the business from the uptown area.
And it's really difficult to sell your product when nobody even wants to watch your product. Okay. It is more expensive to buy the Panthers games on Sunday ticket than it is to buy season tickets to the Panthers right now.
And they
think
still
about that.
They still sell
they
out.
Don't. They do not sell out. They do not sell out.
You realize they do sell out. Otherwise, they can't show the game. Otherwise, they can't show the games on. The tickets are sold. Maybe not everybody's going, but the tickets are sold. It's the only way they get put on television. There's a blackout rule.
It is cheaper to buy. It is cheaper to buy season tickets for the Panthers right now than it is to buy Sunday ticket. Think about that.
Panthers
you can watch every single home game for cheaper at the game than for you to pay to watch them on TV at the house.
The NFL's a cash cow. If you let your team, somebody walk away, ask St. Louis, how has it been since they let the Rams walk? It's like a freaking ghost town in that city, never in the winter, a ghost town. Your businesses need that money. If you want to get reelected mayor, you cannot get rid of the NFL. Can't do it.
Goodbye.
Al Monroe says Charlotte FC eyeing Fulham center back Tim Ream. He blows. Isn't he from the United States?
Yeah, he's like 32 now.
Sucks.
He's all right. He's all right.
Signing for them. No, he doesn't. He sucks. How about the USA versus Brazil? Pulisic should have had his second goal to win it. No. Alex, I'm sorry. The U.S. wasn't even competitive in that game.
It was a counterattack. That was all they did.
By the by, Florida high school athletics approves NIL deals for the high school athletes now.
Hey, let them get paid.
We did not expect that a year and a half ago.
No. We knew this shit was going to happen quick, but
now here's the thing. And TJ, in our defense, we thought it would be a year or two before the money took off. It wasn't even 3 months, and the money
immediate
through the roof.
Are you guys excited about the Olympic trials that there are tonight? I didn't even know that there were Olympic trials tonight.
There are Olympic trials.
I like Copacabana better, says Tony Fitz, a little cheese here. Wow.
You know who sang Copacabana?
At the Copa.
Howdy, Grumpy. I don't know.
Copacabana, the hottest part north of Havana.
Remember, you got so much limited time here, Grumpy, and here I was singing fucking Copacabana. So let's continue on here, buddy.
You know who sang Copacabana, TJ?
I don't know.
Barry Manilow.
Okay, Barry Manilow.
Alex,
Mandy. That's the only song I know he sings, Mandy.
Al Monroe says, anybody watch the soccer tournament that happened last week in Cary, North Carolina? Nope. Nanny got into it with former Orlando football teammate. McAfee's team made it to the quarters after picking up multiple injuries. No, we didn't.
I didn't watch any of it. It's just, it's kind of nice to see a little bit of the guys. I saw like a little clips here and there, but that was about that. TJ, show the 2 screenshots I sent you yesterday of Bella Cheat. Oh God. Okay. You get Rumpy.
Freedom Fund Venture says allegedly he met his 24-year-old entrepreneur and philosopher girlfriend on a plane and was fascinated by her project in college. I think a 72-year-old with a 24-year-old is happy. She's overrated. Well, I'd like to see what she actually looks like, not just that little face shot. Al Monroe also adds either England or Germany is winning the Euros. Cinderella team Croatia looks to be over with. Yeah, absolutely not. They got rolled by Spain. France just won't continue their run. I disagree. I think France is going to be really good. We'll find out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And Germany looked really good in game 1. But it's game 1 against a bad team.
And they got a red card in the first half.
Yeah.
That team that they played against. So.
Al Monroe adds to make an excuse for a loaded Brazil team drawing to the USA is absolute comedy. If they meet again in the Copa America, I guarantee you the USA loses.
They'll have the one difference maker on their team, the guy from Real Madrid, who's the center back and one of the best center backs in the world.
There's for that sorry showing. I tell you one thing, though. It always helps when they're home games for U.S.
Oh.
That helps.
Who's that other guy? Her father?
Probably.
I don't know. Have you seen Robert Kraft, who's 82? I mean, now she's a doctor, supposedly. She's, I think, in her like early 40s. I don't think she's particularly pretty, but I mean, he's 82. I wonder why she's with him. I don't know. You tell me.
You're good, bro.
Says, Son X, were you flabbergasted to learn that a while back that TJ confessed to not being a flosser? What is he going to tell his daughter?
Floss your teeth.
Floss your teeth.
Do as I say, not as I do. That's what he's going to say.
Here you go.
Adventure ads. Most Dolphins beat writers think Miami should make Tua play on his fifth-year option. X, you get hurt getting off your couch, so zip it. Woo.
He should have to play on the fifth-year option. Dude, he's a walking end of a career injury and a little knock to the head away from fucking never playing football again and breathing through a freaking ventilator the rest of his life.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Anytime he gets hit, when you still go, and every Dolphin fan goes, it's because you know that guy's made of freaking, like, he's made of glass.
It's a heart of glass. Alan Rose says Ronaldinho doesn't recognize the Brazil national team. Done supporting them. Guess he doesn't like Ballon d'Or favorite Vinny whining and no respectable leaders.
As he's out here calling Vinny for tickets. Okay, sure.
They played like shit. I don't know what else to tell you. They played like shit. They played awful.
I don't know. He's out here asking for tickets from Vinicius. So I guess he's really not that dumb with the team then.
They played like shit. Guess what? Maybe
I'm just telling you what he's doing.
Maybe it's a little bit of a wake-up call. Hey, they're playing like absolute dog shit. I can't support that. Think about where Brazil used to be. Ronaldinho, R9. Think about the freaking loaded-ass Brazilian teams you used to have in the past, and this sorry fucking team is drawn against Team USA. You as a Brazilian national should have higher expectations than that sorry excuse that they put out there on the pitch.
What has Brazil won in the last 5 years?
Pathetic. Nothing. That's
my point.
Copa America. Well, guess what? And he sees, oh, great, we've won nothing. And this same team that's won absolutely nothing is going out here drawing against U.S. Whoa, better watch out.
It's not like the team now is playing any poorlier than it did 5 years ago.
It's about the state of the team. It's about the state of where the team is.
They're playing just as well as they did 5 years ago.
They have higher expectations. Brazilians have higher expectations.
They're playing just as well as they did 5 years ago.
Guess what? They have higher expectations.
Okay, you can only work with what you have.
I'm going to use a baseball reference for you. The Yankees. This is an exact Yankees reference. The Yankees. How many years in a row did the Yankees win pennant after pennant World Series?
Then I guess everybody who's a Yankees supporter should just not support the team because they haven't won in 10 years, 4 years, 5 years. Whatever.
Listen, X. Listen, please. How many years in a row did the Yankees used to win World Series after World Series? And it's like after multiple World Series, the first time after many multiple World Series, they're like, oh, we have a lackluster season. They're not over here saying, holy shit, we're playing like dog shit. Well, you're winning multiple World Series. When the Yankees went 5-6 years without doing shit, you started to see the fans say, we expect more. Just like you expect. And
really, what fans came out and said, we expect more? I'm not supporting this team anymore. What fans came out and said
how many times did Grumpy say team's not built right? Team's not good enough.
Okay, did he ever say I'm not going to support the team? Did he ever say I'm not going to support the team?
Grumpy wasn't playing for the Yanks.
How many ex-Yankees came out and said I'm not going to support the team anymore?
Soccer,
you can say all you want.
Soccer is different in that regard. People say exactly what they think. But think about how many times Grumpy and
England hasn't won a trophy in over 60 years. You don't see the ex-England players saying, I'm not going to support the team anymore.
Did you hear what Phil Neville said today? And you hear what Craig Reynolds said. You see,
I'm not going to support the team.
They were playing uninspired football. They have no shot.
I'm not going to watch them anymore. I'm not going to support them. That's what they should have said, right? That's what they should have done.
They said they're playing like shit. They're not going to win playing this way.
He should have said, I'm not going to support them too. I'm not going to support them too. I don't want to go to any of their games. I'm not going to support them. I don't care about this team anymore. That's what he should have said, right?
They've been playing like dog shit for the last 5 years. They need to lock in if they want to do anything.
No, he literally said, I'm not going to support the team anymore. That's fine. Then don't ask for tickets like you already did.
Next comment.
Drew says Mahomes still has like 7 years left on his deal. It was a 10-year, $500 million deal. I think it was 10 for 50, and they've redone it, I think, at least once. Drew also adds, by the way, TJ, you should show a clip of the announcer shitting himself because Paul Skeen's immaculate talent It's in the DMs. I'll tell you what.
The video has been deleted. So the post, I tried to look at it, but I can't actually locate it. It was not the video that was linked to it no longer exists.
That Skeens kid
is good.
Really good.
Pittsburgh's a really good squad these days.
They're not really good. They need a new manager. They got some young talent, but they have some pitching on that team now. That kid's the real deal. That kid is the real deal. Freedom Front of Bench says, roster out a list of potential Islander additions, and it's depressing. I really don't want any of them, really, for various reasons. I don't want Rosner. I don't believe Rosner knows anything, just guessing.
Yeah, well, Rosner listens
he
to
hears things.
Still.
He hears things.
True.
He hears things. But I don't think the Islanders.
Drew says here, what? I mean, like, are we going to talk more about the Islanders, Grump? Go ahead.
I just think that I'm just going real quick. The longer it goes with the Islanders making a move, the less likely there are to make a move. Drew adds, that's funny. I haven't seen any tweets from Phil since he made his new account. Guess the band made him irrelevant.
Yeah.
Phil's a good guy, though. Phil's a good guy.
Alexander.
There's Alex. He looks unhappy. Tua should be getting top 5 money. He's better than Herbert and is better than Rodgers. He was the passing leader last season and was top 5 in every major statistical category, including the one that said most yards after catch. He led the league in that one.
Yeah, he's going to get paid. Grumpy doesn't think that's the case. He will get paid, and he's going to get paid a lot of money. And it's going to be a bad decision by them. And it's going to be a franchise-altering mistake. Simple as that. Alexander Grump.
Lawrence is not worth the money. He got Tua is a better player.
Tua has better numbers, therefore I think Tua will be paid more than Lawrence was. But Lawrence is a better quarterback than Tua. Simple. Yeah. Al Grumpy.
Never heard someone call a team rebuilding when they won 2 out of the last 3 Champions Leagues. Seems like life without Ronnie is doing just fine at Madrid. Yeah, well, they had lost the 2 years previous also. It's been 6 years since he's gone. They won 2 Champions Leagues. The previous 5 years with Ronaldo, they'd won 4 out of 5. So they absolutely were in a transitional state. Absolutely.
And they didn't have to sell grass to support their team. So
that's very true. James Farrell said, who you guys like in the College World Series? I don't even know who's playing in the finals yet.
Oklahoma.
I tell you.
Nice comment. Drew
says, I'm still confused why the Giants got Brian Burns for only a 2nd or 5th round pick. Although I will say I think Carolina will be a much better team on offense this season. As a team, not so much. They could not come.
They've got a shitty quarterback. Simple.
Brian Burns is a good player, but when it's known that he's not re-signing, they're going to lose him to free agency, the price comes down. That's
guys who get traded as their current players always get less than what the younger players do with more team certainty because
the attrition rate in football, right, TJ?
Yep. I was about to say that, but yes. Moving along here. They were offered 2 first-round picks from the year before, but they waited that extra year and it sunk the value. Tony Cheese says here, hey, it worked. Alex is here. Yes, it did here. Al says here, VAR, Drid can afford a new stadium, 5-star facilities, VIP rooms, and Mbappe can also afford every young player in the world too, apparently. Oil money club. Well, no, they buy players. I mean,
young players on the cheap.
Zero transfer. You're just paying his wages. So I mean, they've done.
They don't have to sell grass to afford their team.
Alexander says here, look, the Mets are the hottest team in baseball. The Mets are done. The Mets are no shot in hell to do anything this year.
Just real quick on Real Madrid, they're such a big club that the players want to play there. They're the biggest club in the world, so they get deals. Now it's comes out that Alphonso Davies says he's not signing a contract extension with Bayern Munich, and that Real Madrid's probably going to get him on the cheap, or they'll wait till next December and they'll get him for a free transfer next year.
Not to mention they also make a shitload more money than any other club in the world. They make the most profit out of any club in the world.
They know how to manage their expenses. They're really, really good. They're the model franchise.
I think they made €800 million last year.
Alrighty. Al says Messi has touched more Ballon d'Ors than Ron has had trophies in the past couple of years. Well, that's actually not true. There's never been a debate. Yeah, the only people who think that are Messi fans, a little Messi the midget fans here. Drew says here, it's crazy how much Aaron Judge has produced within the last few weeks. I doubt he continues it, but at some point, Judge will easily break 62 home runs at this point if he continues this type of play. Yeah, Aaron Judge, first ballot Hall of Famer. Simple as that. He's on a tear right now. He's got 25, 26 home runs for the season, almost at the halfway point. He's playing some really good baseball. Al says here, the NFL has told the Packers and Eagles that they cannot wear green in Brazil due to gangs. Both the teams will be forced to stay in their hotels during their stay, and they'll only travel in armored vehicles.
Why the fuck is the NFL going to Brazil?
Good question.
How dumb is it? How dumb? Because they're greedy pigs. They could care. Matter of fact, I think they'd love it if both teams got assassinated, because then they could sell the poor NFL. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's disgraceful. NFL's
Al says here, horns down, brings out Lambos for recruits visiting. Will college athletes have their own yacht parties next year? It's pathetic what NIL has become. Yeah, and guess what? Auburn and Alabama and all these big schools are doing the same exact thing. I remember they said originally it was to help create, it was help to prevent the parity that we have in college athletics, but all it does is make the rich even richer and the lesser teams and the poor even poorer. Tua Tagovailoa said, I heard people are calling me Noodle Arm. Yes, they are.
Truth to power.
Here you go, Grumpy. Al.
Ref Simon Marciniak, same referee that did the robbery of Real Madrid against Bayern Munich, UCL game this season, was axed from reffing the opening game at the Euros. Shady ref, it seems. Yep, he kept Bayern in that game as long as he could, and finally just had to let the talent come to the top.
Drew says, just curious, there's been a clip here of Scott Hansen capturing somebody who was trying to tamper with evidence from a car accident going viral at the moment. I sent the clip. Has anybody seen it? Yeah, I did. I did happen to see. I think you had sent it to me. But yes, he kind of was just Scott Hansen. For those unfamiliar who've never seen his show, is always very popular from To Catch a Predator. Now he does that more in the online facet through YouTube. But yes, he did go ahead and make sure that this person who was trying to obviously tamper after there was a massive car crash. He prevented him from doing that. So just seems like a good guy, Scott Hansen, on that side. Tua Tagovailoa says,
I'm the worst quarterback in the NFL. Come at me.
Yes, he is. Free to Fun Adventure says here, so TJ dies or does the same gaslighting bullshit as that Fruit Loop in Canada. Shame on you, TJ.
I often talk to the two of them, and I said they are almost identical.
There you go. Al says here, once an honorable ref there, Mateleus, was seen giving Ancelotti a hug after the UCL final and congratulating Vardrid on the win. Corrupt as hell.
Actually, he just recognizes greatness. I don't blame him.
Yeah, are you trying to tell me that last game there that Real beat Borussia Dortmund and you have Borussia Dortmund players setting up free assists there for Real Madrid? You thinking that game was rigged? They outplayed them. Simple as that, and they knew exactly what they were doing. Al says here, Messi wins trophies for the worst team in the MLS. Okay, this is just wrong. This is just absolutely wrong. Well, Ron is still trophyless without friendlies. Ron needs a super team around him. Relies upon badges like Real Madrid and others.
Kind of like how Messi's built Inter Miami now, that they have Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets. Yes. I mean, how many more freaking players do they need? It seems like every big signing that goes to the MLS only joins Inter Miami.
It's the Barcelona alumni club, and the only tournament that he won was a friendlies tournament.
They're using currently to get around the salary cap rules in the MLS. They're giving them percentage of revenue from all of these players. They're giving the percentage of revenue from Apple TV, the Apple TV money they've had to circumnavigate the salary,
which is bullshit.
So to keep all the salary cap down, we're going to pay you a low salary, but we're going to give you the revenue that's split amongst all these other teams to try to bring in more attractive names. And guess what? That's only lasting for a little bit of time. And as soon as Lille's done, it goes back to being the shit league that it always is. Yep. Frank says, stop pretending you're messy.
Stop pussy. Spreading your messy pussy.
Oh, gosh. BS. Yes. Here you go, Grumpy. He also says, Frank says, do you charge
Ronaldo high rent for living in your head so much? You're obsessed, LOL.
Here you go. Al says here, TJ thinks they should hold Copa America games in the Brazilian ghettos, I guess. Have you seen how many Brazil, Argentina, Colombia fans have traveled safely? Safety in the U.S. is a little bit better.
I'm just saying the NFL never should play a game in Brazil. If the problems are that bad there, they should not be playing games in Brazil, period.
Yeah, simple as this. I think they should play them in good areas. I mean, Rio de Janeiro is not bad. They played the World Cup in Rio de Janeiro. There's certain spots in Brazil you can't play games in. There's some spots you can. Just like there's certain spots we shouldn't be playing games in Baltimore or Chicago anytime soon. We should play them in safer areas. Alexander Grump.
Please explain to me, like I'm a 5-year-old, how Lawrence is better than Tua. It's not even close. Tua's a better quarterback. Lawrence sucks. Who's won the most playoff games?
Tua is throwing to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And they've got a system that just allows the quarterback to give little dump offs and allow the athletes to do everything else. Trevor Lawrence started off with Urban Meyer as a head coach his first season. Second season, he played better. In the third season, they won games, but he was playing under Grump with the shoulder injury. Now, here's the thing. If he comes out and plays poorly next year, you'll have me on the bandwagon saying Trevor Lawrence is not good enough. But I will give him one more year to see where things lie for him. TJ, they won 5 in a row. I'm not even sure what that's in reference to here. Derek Monroe says here, Madrid with Ronaldo through 2009 and 13 had 0 Champions League. Madrid with Kroos, Modric, Benzema, and Bale 13 through 18 have 4 Champions League in 5 years. Coincidence? I think not.
Okay, Benzema was there. Benzema came in the same year as Ronaldo. Bale came in
a year after
2011. Modric came in 2012. Cruz came in 2014. Just stop. No, you're wrong. Sorry.
And here's the funny thing. Messi with PSG couldn't get past the round of 16 in UCL. As soon as he leaves, PSG gets past the round of 16. I find that kind of a coincidence, right?
Who was a team that they couldn't beat, that Messi could not beat? Real Madrid.
Insert team here.
Well, that's all. Insert team. I like it. X.
Frank says here, the deal for Lawrence was worse than Daniel Jones, and that's saying a lot. I think Daniel Jones is a lot worse than Trevor Lawrence, so we'll see. Drew says here, you want to see a funny announcer blunders? I sent it to TJ. It's a clip from Talking Yanks. Grumpy hates those guys. We'll pull that up here. I can't believe you're saying this, says Tua. Tony Cheese says Scott Hansen is the NFL Red Zone guy. Chris Hansen is from Catch a Predator. Jesus, TJ. Well, shows you how much I know. That's Chris Hansen, you fucking dumbass. Okay, I messed it up here. Mr. TJ and Grumpy, not cool. You guys suck. Oh man,
that's fair.
It's okay. Goon Grump.
Grumpy, how revolutionary was HBO back in the late 70s? It was revolutionary. We used to have a little box. You'd have to put it on channel 6, push the little button on top of the box, and boom, it would come up. It was phenomenal. Movies that were uncut, movies that had the language in there. It was great. Loved HBO back in the day.
And Florida isn't the only state that approved NIL. This happened months ago there for the high school athletes. Jesus, I'm telling you. This is something I wanted to make sure we had a chance to get to here because Grumpy wanted to cover this. Tom Brady made it to the Patriots Hall of Fame, had guys like Peyton speaking there, Tom Brady speaking. Brady seemed very articulate. I'd say that I originally had low expectations of what I thought he could do as an announcer. I will say that after listening to him speak, I think he will be much more articulate and very fluid in the announcer's booth. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I just thought he'd be too robotic.
Thought he'd be like a Gretzky.
And he wouldn't. I don't think he'd want to rip anybody. I didn't think that he'd work at all as an announcer. You listen to him talk, it's like, holy shit. When this guy puts his mind to things, it's almost like he can do anything. And he did say something about playing football and what it meant. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy's going to be successful in his next venture for certain.
Yep, absolutely. Now, this is something that Grumpy didn't send me, but I feel like he would see value in us putting up on a show. This is Peyton Manning and Tom Brady talking about the friendly competition and the rivalry that they had for many, many, many years.
When did that start to happen?
Well, obviously playing against them so many years, felt like we met at a Pro Bowl, got to know each other at a couple off-season golf tournaments, and we just had tremendous respect for each other. I was so impressed with Tom's commitment to be better every season than he was the year before. Always looking for some type of edge in his training and his film study. And we actually got together one off season in 2009 at the height of our careers. Tom's coming off an MVP season. I'm coming off an MVP season. We met in a small town in Tennessee. I said, Tom, let's get together. Let's kind of go real under the radar. Don't tell anybody we're coming in. Tom flies in on Mr. Kraft's plane, big, huge plane. I'm like, that is not what I said. I said under the radar. That's against the salary cap too, by the way. We won't get into that. But we played golf together. We lifted weights together. We threw routes together with these high school receivers. We took their phones away, and we said, if you tell anybody that Tom Brady and I are working out together and that we're friends, we're going to kill all of you. So, but it was fascinating to see his work ethic, and we really picked each other's brains, not, giving away all of our secrets, but we were kind of challenging each other to get better. It was a fascinating 2 days for me. It really was.
It was a great 2 days, and it went so fast. And I have all those notes that I took from those days. And there were so many things that I had learned through talking with him, because, again, when you reach a certain point at quarterbacking, you want to reach out to the other people that you really look up to say, hey, what works for you? I couldn't do that with a lot of younger players. And Coach Belichick always drafted a lot of young players, and I loved having those guys in the room, but they didn't have the experience. So who could I really learn from? And Peyton was the guy that I could learn from, and we developed that relationship because we had one. And those 2 days were, I remember them like they were yesterday. They were meaningful to me. They meant the world to me. And they were just one of the experiences that we had together that I think made our friendship so strong.
I don't know if you have the clip where he talked about being to be success.
Oh, I don't. Nope.
Okay. Because it was really good. And it says you don't have to be special to be great. You just have to, I think it was determination, be willing to outwork people. It's honestly, it's a life thing. I mean, you just listen to him. It's like, man, this guy could be a freaking politician if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's articulate. I think he'll be fine in the role of an announcer. I was originally worried, but I think he'll be fine. Al says here, happy Father's Day. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the Father's Day.
You also see why Peyton Manning is so successful too.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely. I think very affable. Very affable.
They could be a good combo as well. Working in the booth together. Derek Monroe says here, notice how Ronnie has to play for the most historic team in each league he's played for to remain relevant. He's like, if he was playing baseball, he'd play for the Yankees, etc.
Can I just say one thing? The reason that they're historic teams is because he's on them. That's why they're historic.
Juventus is not the best Italian league club. It's AC Milan. When you think Italian, you think AC Milan has had a much more history, or much more successful history than Juventus has had. And United was all under Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, who was the most talented player that played under Sir Alex Ferguson? Ronaldo.
When he's there, he makes teams historic.
Yeah, and Real Madrid, I mean, simple as that. It's all under Cristiano. Simple as
that. And I guess you could say PSG is the most historic team that's in France, right?
He is the reason why the Saudi League is even talked about. It's Cristiano Ronaldo.
James F. says here, ESPN was talking about the Yankees, what the Yankees should do at the trade deadline. They need bullpen help, a first baseman. I'd say bullpen and a catcher. What do you guys think?
Can always, just when you think you have enough pitching, you need more pitching. I think they can live at the catcher position. Anthony Rizzo is pretty good defensively, but he's on the tail end. So if they could pick up somebody on the cheap, okay. I don't know what they have to offer.
So 2 more things we want to talk about here before we wrap the show up today. For those of you who like or watch the hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July, that's going to be coming up in a few weeks. Joey Chestnut is always a mainstay in that event. He usually wins pretty much year in, year out. He signed a deal with Impossible Foods, which offers like a vegan hot dog, or like he's like a spokesman or going to be representing that vegan hot dog or vegetarian hot dog. So Nathan's is not allowing him to compete in the 4th of July hot dog eating contest. He's won 17 of the last 18 hot dog eating contests. And this is all at the time period when Netflix just announced they're going to have a hot dog eating contest on Chestnut and Kobayashi released in September. What are your thoughts on this, Grumpy and X?
X, any thoughts?
I think he is the sport, so it will definitely be an absolute big, huge loss if he's not competing.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. He's the reason why people will watch the hot dog eating contest, but it's like Caitlin Clark. With Joey Chestnut not there, you're going to see that their numbers are going to go down. People watch for him. They watch for Kobayashi before him. They need to have somebody else to blow it out of the water.
It's cutting off your nose to spite your face. Well, you don't like the fact that he's paired up with Impossible Foods, or maybe he'll wear something like that or have that in some capacity. Dude, you're going to get so many eyes on Nathan's hot dogs because people tune in to watch him win every year.
Yep.
And you're not going to have him there. You're going to have less people tune in, which means less coverage for your Nathan's hot dogs.
They should have said something where dude, you can't advertise for them on the show. And I think he'd respect that, right? I think he'd respect that, but it's short-sighted on their part.
He's always done the Pepto-Bismol. He gets the Pepto-Bismol belt and he chugs the Pepto-Bismol afterwards, but yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't hopefully they get that shit sorted out in the next 2 or 3 weeks so he can compete. Now this is something else I wanted to bring up here. The reason why apparently there were some issues in that Colorado locker room, and they lost a lot of high-end players and high-end recruits that they had years before that had transferred out this year during the transfer window. Colorado player says that Coach Prime is playing daddy ball and threatening to dismiss any player that missed Shador's rap concert was the final straw for many of the transfers. And I assume that was said like in a joke, but I don't know. I assume if you have multiple players leaving because that's the issue and they're sharing that, they've got some issues with Coach Prime. Needless to say, Grump.
They won how many games last year? 4?
4 games.
They went from 3 wins to 4 wins?
Yes, more win.
Okay. He's a shitty coach.
Yes.
And he does play daddy ball. He absolutely does. His kid is not that good. He's like Bronny James. I think Bronny James when I think about
Shador Sanders.
Whatever his name is. Shakur, whatever the hell his name is.
Tua says here, who is your quarterback, Mr. Grump and Mr. TJ, Mr. Big Glasses guy? Unfortunately, I'm a Giants fan, so it's Daniel Jones. Not good. I'm very good, says Tua.
We're happy for you.
Current quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Drew says here, TJ, it's called the Glizzy Gobbling Contest, not the hot dog eating contest, or the Glizzy Guzzling Contest. Oh,
even better.
And here you go. I can't believe those guys ate that many hot dogs and didn't die.
They throw up immediately after the contest.
I don't know. Do you think?
No, they do. I know they do.
Dude, you can't eat that shit.
They all force themselves to vomit after the contest.
You can't. There's no way you can pass all that hot dog.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Tua is better
60
than
hot dogs in 12 minutes? You think you're going to digest that?
Depending how big you are, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe King Booker, dude. That's about it.
Alexander says Tua is better than Baker. I think Tua and Baker are very, very similar.
System QBs.
Bake Nation, baby.
Not system QBs. I think that Tua is in a really advantageous situation playing in Miami with that San Francisco offense. It makes all quarterbacks, makes Brock Purdy look like he can play. Just like San Francisco's always had that back to the Bill Walsh days, made Elvis Gerback a hell of a lot of money.
If Baker played for San Francisco, he'd probably be MVP of the league and would have already 2 Super Bowls.
They would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All righty. Well, let's wrap things up, guys. SunX, Grumpy, thanks so much for being a part of the show here tonight. What do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. And happy Father's Day to everyone out there who's a father from the grumpy old man, TJ, and son X.
And X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
Ditto to what Grumpy said about the Father's Day stuff. And love all the interaction in the comments as always. We will see you guys next time.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the show here tonight. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the interaction as well. As always, happy Father's Day, and we'll see you guys next time, a.k.a. next Sunday. Thank you so much, Grumpy, and thank you so much, Son X.
My pleasure.
Thank you.